Welcome back to Tech Driven. My name's Danny, and today on the show, we're going to be talking a little bit about Intel's new 12th gen CPUs that are going to be supposedly launching very soon, as well as NVIDIA is re-releasing the RTX 20 series. So hopefully that should backfill some of the stock issues where people are just looking for a good mid-range GPU, as well as there is some Microsoft news about Xbox Live and pricing changes, and some new water coolers hitting the market. Stick around for more. So if you're looking to build a new computer in 2021 and you're looking at Ryzen 5000 or maybe Intel 10th or 11th gen, as 11th gen is really close to launching, well, if you can wait out a few more months, it looks like Intel 12th gen is not that far away, which is kind of crazy because I feel like just yesterday 10th gen hit the market, then they announced 11, and it's like, wait, what? We just snowballed right to 12? I feel bad for anyone that has bought those, but you definitely got a good system. But it looks like there's a good rumor that came out saying Intel 12th gen is coming out in September. Now that could be the launch, and then probably slowly after that, motherboards and CPUs and the RAM. And the biggest difference with 12th gen is DDR5, PCI Express 5.0, 10 nanometer finally. So it's a full rethink of Intel's CPUs. It's a complete, it more than likely is almost a complete scratch build from all new, which is nuts because Intel's been doing the 14 nanometer process and it's been DDR4 forever. It's been like that for a long time, and as well as PCI Express 3.0, and they just are switching to 4.0 now, giving that capability for 4.0 graphics cards to have a little bit more bandwidth, even though they don't use it, but it's mainly for storage, as storage will take advantage of 4.0. So let's just wait to see how fast storage will be on 5.0. But that also means Intel not Intel, but AMD is not sleeping, as well as AMD's AM5 sockets coming out. Ryzen Zen 4 is on its way as well. So, and that's probably going to boast all the same technologies. It more likely is going to support DDR5, more likely going to support PCI Express 5.0. So it's going to make it really interesting at the end of the year. If they both launch around the same time, that's going to be awesome for consumers. It's going to be amazing for basically for anyone that's looking to build a new computer, because there's going to be like crazy amount of competition. And I hope AMD definitely isn't sleeping either and get completely, blown away by Intel with their new setup. And I doubt that they are. So I'm looking forward to seeing this next generation of CPU battle take place. As well, side note, I shot the entire episode last night, went to start editing it, it was late, and then realized my camera didn't record, my mic recorded, so then I've reshot this the second day. So if you've been trying to get any new hardware, and you look online, you see that there's literally no stock. If it's CPUs, motherboards, graphics cards of any current generation, there's just nothing. Even consoles. I had a friend of mine that was trying to buy PS5 and was trying for a while, and eventually he did get one, got it on order, but it was a whole ordeal. And again, we really lucked out with the 5600X that I put into my sister's computer, where she wasn't in a rush to build a computer, so she ordered it in store, so her name was reserved for one, and once they got stock, she got one that was taken from that stock, and it was held for her as it was already paid in full. And luckily enough, she reserved it that week, stock came in the same week, so she got a CPU fairly quickly, which was great. Overall though, in general, it's pretty hard to get them, and I find brick and mortar stores seem to be, right now, probably your best bet at getting one. But with everything going on, and here in Ontario, we have a stay-at-home order, and we're under a state of emergency because of, Tony Roney, hopping around, making everyone sick, and basically canceling the world, it's also kind of hard to go to brick and mortar stores, and you have to do curbside pickup. So that just makes it even more difficult. So then you turn to online retailers trying to buy stuff. So Amazon, Newegg, and try to get things from there. But they sell out instantly. And it's like, okay, great. Now what do I do? It looks like Newegg's trying something different with like a lottery type system where you're gonna put your name in a hat, say, hey, I want this graphics card, and if you get randomly selected, like a lottery, then you have a buy window to actually buy that card, and it's card or CPU or whatever it is. You have the buy window, and as long as you buy it within that window, you got the card. So not a bad idea, also not a great idea, because it kind of sucks because it's a lottery, so it's kind of a loot box, and you know, we know how much we love loot boxes, but it's something for now. Hopefully stock gets better soon. So sources claim NVIDIA is reintroducing their RTX 2060 and 2060 Super. Now there's not much information why they're doing this, but maybe it's because they have a bit of abundance of overstock and it's gonna be pushed to the AIB partners. But maybe it also could be, hey, we found some foundry space somewhere to remanufacture these GPUs, and let's fill a hole in the market that literally the market's bleeding dry of GPUs and no one can buy anything. It doesn't matter if it's current gen, last gen, used. It's just, if there is stock and someone has something, it's astronomically overpriced. So if these cards actually come out, the 2060 Super cards actually come out at a decent price, not overpriced, in good stock, that'll be good for any mid-range gamers looking for systems to build, or anyone looking to just upgrade their current cards if they have, you know, a last-gen graphics card. So anything like a 9 series graphics card or an older AMD card, to upgrade to at least a 2060, that's still a fairly decent upgrade. So very interesting, not much information around it, but looking forward to see if this actually folds out to be 100% true, and if we actually start seeing 2060s back on the shelves. It's also very odd to hear about this because the 3060 non-TI is literally at the end of February supposed to launch as well. It's very strange, very strange. So if you want more than likely the best water block for your 3090, it looks like EK may have made that just now. They have had other 3090 water blocks on the market for partner cards and the FE card. Now they've released a new FE card, which is a special edition one. It comes with, it's completely CNC machined, like a lot of their cold plates, but on top of that, the back plate is completely CNC machined with a very V-shaped fin array, which makes it very interesting. But what makes this water block different from most traditional water blocks is, let's say my phone is the water block, and generally your fittings are at the top of your card like this. Well, on this card, there is no square block that comes out and adds extra height to your graphics card, and sometimes adds case compatibility issues, O11 dynamic, because it's not very wide. But if you get the XL, then that's not an issue anymore. But it also, in smaller form factor cases, you do have these issues. So what they did is they moved the fittings from the top of the card to the back side of the card, or the tail end of the card, which then puts the inlet and the outlet on the end of the card, and the power is still at the top, which is fine. But because the Founders Edition has a fairly short PCB, it makes the card really compact once you take the large stock cooler off. They also increased the cold plate fin array up to 30%, giving it more cooling capacity, and more than likely redesigned a lot of the card to really optimize it and give it the best thermal capacity of extracting all the heat from your big and strong 3090 graphics card that does pull a lot of power and generates a lot of power. So it's a very unique looking card, cooler, as well as it does feature RGB that's addressable, which is fairly common now with all water coolers, unless you pick the option for not having one. But this only comes in 2 flavors, and the flavors are a silver version or a black version, and they are special edition. I don't know if they're limited numbers, but I wouldn't doubt this is going to be a very low volume product, much like the Magnitude CPU block. So are you bored of your boring AIO that just features a pump and fans and a reservoir and, you know, a radiator, and you want more flash? Well, Asus thinks that, and they think that, you know, just having a basic AIO with a pump and a rad and some fans, and maybe, well, in some cases, like let's say EK or Gigabyte or NZXT or Corsair, or really anyone else that's made one, Deep Cool, let's think, oh, there's like Fractal, pretty much any brand out there. Cooler Master is a big OEM. Pretty much any brand out there has made an AIO. Actually, I think even freaking G-Skill's made one now too. Jesus. But everyone's pretty much made an AIO now, and generally they'll call up whoever the OEM is in China and say, hey, we want to make an AIO. There's a factory that pretty much produces all of them, and generally it's Asus, which I believe is a Canadian company, but they're all made in China. But anyways, they own the patent for a lot of them, and there's been a lot of interesting ways people got around it and been able to make their own. But Asus is no different. They had the Ryujin that they came out with, had this really bulky cooler. I wasn't a big fan of it, but it did have Noctua fans, which was good. So it actually featured quality fans. But now they're coming out with the Ryujin II, which looks like it's using the same fans, same radiator, same lines, but it has a 3.5-inch LED screen. So much like an NZXT Kraken that now features a screen on it. And I think there's a Gigabyte one that features a screen on it as well. There might be a few others that I can't remember, but this one's a square screen versus a circle screen, which is a little easier. So you could probably use that screen to put, if you want to put important information for your computer. And, I see a lot of people do like the screen mods in their machines, and they put little 7-inch touchscreens in there. Or you can just do what everyone else does. I see on Reddit, and they just put GIFs on their coolers. So if you're into that, Asus is coming out with a new one. And if you're a big Asus fan, it's something to look forward to this year. Let's talk Microsoft. And let's talk subscription services for playing video games. Now, Microsoft's they're not new to subscription stuff. As long as the Xbox has existed, Xbox Live has existed. And as long as you wanted to play Xbox online, well, you got to pay for Xbox Live, and you have to get, at the time, it was just an Xbox Live subscription. Then eventually, when the 360 came along, there was multiple flavors of that with the Xbox Live Gold package, and I think there was a Silver package, but the Gold package gave you kind of everything. And well, Microsoft with 365, Azure, and a bunch of other products are all subscription-based. And I wouldn't doubt eventually they'll probably make you pay for Windows subscription-based as well. Because honestly, making everyone pay at the drip, you make more money. And also you can kind of somewhat stop piracy with subscription-based services. But what happened just recently this week was Microsoft announced huge price hikes to the Xbox Live service, completely eliminating the 12-year subscription model and bringing up the 6-month subscription model to the 1-year price. So originally it was $39.99 US, and it went up by 50% to $59.99 US for the 6-month, and it went to $29.99 for the 3-month, which is only a few dollars from $24.99, still 20%. And the 1 month went up to $10.99 from $9.99, so 10% increase. That would definitely cause a huge stir and rage with a lot of Xbox Live users. And, with everything going on in the world, more and more people are at home. A lot of people are out of work, or, more people are just working from home. So, the only way to connect with friends now is either play games or chat online or do whatever. To raise prices on Xbox Live is kind of a dick move. Well, it looks like Microsoft heard everyone telling them that they're a bunch of assholes for doing that, and they rolled it all back and reintroduced the 12-month subscription, and everything's back at the original prices. So it's great to see once everyone kind of raises a stink and kind of puts a company in their place and tells them, you're dumb, and they actually listen for once, is kind of nice. So good on you, Microsoft, for rolling back that and not being a total asshole. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this week's show. And if you did, please consider subscribing, liking the video, and leaving a comment down below. I respond to all the comments. I like everyone's comment, and it really helps keep me motivated with doing the show. And that's pretty much it for this week. We'll see you in the next episode, and I hope you guys have a great week.